I, Goddess of Justice, greet you this day, and next Friday, my beloved twin flame, Saint Germain, will take up this broadcast to greet each of you as well, and will continue on the message that I have desired to speak this day. I too wish to acknowledge the messenger Usa, who freely offers his time and his voice to me. As Goddess of Justice, you might know that justice is dear to my heart. Justice, beloved hearts, is one of the 144 qualities of divine love, a quality that desires to be lived and expressed by each person. And might I say, justice, a quality of divine love in action through the life of every person, is part of the natural purpose of life. You may understand that we goddesses, who are part of the great ascended masters, we often work in groups. For example, the Goddess of Peace, Goddess of Purity, and Goddess of Harmony work together as a team. Then there is the Goddess of Compassion, Goddess of Mercy, and Goddess of Redemption, who often work together. There is the Goddesses of Faith, Goddess of Hope, and Goddess of Charity, who work together. And of course, the Goddess of Liberty and the Goddess of Justice, who work together. We work together. Through the work of Saint Germain, a few million people on earth became aware once again of the great host of ascended masters and the great angelic host who live in the fifth dimension of planet Earth. This is where our homes and our temples, where we do our work from. We are here not only to serve beloved Earth, we also serve the other planets of your solar system. Although the current level of consciousness and advancements in science and technology has not yet expanded sufficiently to know of the life that lives on other planets, I assure you there are advanced civilizations that do live in the higher dimensions of some of the planets of your own solar system. As Ascended Master Goddesses, it is our responsibility to project mighty rays, electronic and magnetic, of light that are charged and filled with our qualities that we represent into the atmosphere of worlds and into the mental and feeling side of life of civilizations, to help people to fully embrace, live, and express the mighty qualities of Source, to advance themselves and their collective civilizations. Most worlds are aware of us, and their peoples turn their attention to us on designated days of their time to open and receive our qualities, growing and becoming active in their own lives. Your beloved Earth and her civilization are the only ones in your solar system who lost contact with your ascended and angelic host, who are here, each of you, to help each of you fulfill your purpose in life and the divine plan for each one, and to help the divine plan of the entire civilization. If a civilization is not aware of our presence and the service we provide, we cannot provide that service, while most on earth are not aware of their ascended family living in the fifth dimension. Today, there are a few million peoples in various spiritual groups who are now aware of us. Yet we must give all credit to Saint Germain and Jesus Christ, who found a way for some on earth to discover and accept the ascended and angelic host. We are your family. So for those of you who accept us, each of you becomes an open door for us to provide the needed intervention, especially that which your world requires at this time. As you develop a relationship with us, and we, you, it is vital that you call to us in your prayers and decrees, and literally demand our intervention in your lives and your world. In this way, you hold the door open for us to pour our much-needed qualities and powers into a world that is in turmoil, and make sure you have the protection to fulfill your own higher purposes and destinies. Two storms are in your world today. They are both man-made, and there are more coming until all the shadows of darkness no longer exist upon the earth. Man-made so-called viruses and horrific man-made injustices. Two storms the world faces at this hour. Yet behind these comes a great awakening, and ultimately the people must and will rise. What the people need the most right now to begin moving everything in the right direction. Beloved hearts, what the world needs most, the people, is truth. And so I would urge each of you to call upon beloved Jesus and his angels to sweep the mental and feeling side of life of the people of earth with trillions of golden rays of illumination, so the peoples can become more illumined and know the truth of everything that is going on your planet today. The people must come to know the sweeping injustice that is rampant within societies of your world today. I come this day to fill your hearts, minds, and feelings of as many people as possible with my flames and rays of divine justice. The injustice that acts out in all forms of racial discrimination and other kinds of societal discrimination must no longer be. You are all one people, one mighty race of God's source, and all injustice is a blight upon the people of earth. If you will begin to call upon me, Goddess of Justice, to so fill your hearts and minds and feelings with the full power of divine justice, I can make your life radiate that quality and feeling of justice out from you to all life in this world. Everywhere you see injustice acting out, if you will begin to call upon me and my angels of justice to blaze our sacred flames and rays of divine justice into those conditions and peoples, for we can remove these human qualities of injustice from them so they are no longer acting out. In coming to you today, I have a new mission. I have a dream. Yet before I explain, I wish to mention the life of Martin Luther King and Nelson Mandela. Some of you, but not all, are aware or not aware that Martin Luther King and Nelson Mandela have both been taken to their freedom in the Ascension. They both received wonderful new physical garments. And I would like you to know something, and you'll soon understand. When Martin Luther King and Nelson Mandela arrived in the Ascended Master realms, being raised through the Ascension process, the one who greeted them was Jesus Christ. Each at different times. And beloved Jesus, bless them for the flame of freedom that was so alive in their hearts. With Nelson Mandela, after he greeted the beloved Master Jesus, Jesus stood aside, and behind him was his mother, beloved Mother Mary. She stepped forward, and blessed Nelson Mandela fell to his knees and wept. And Mother Mary placed her hand on his head, and she greeted him, great Son of Freedom. And she lifted Nelson's head slightly so she could look into his eyes. And Nelson Mandela said to Mother Mary, Holy Mother, will you bless the motherland of Africa? Will you bless her and one day see to it that Africa, the motherland, is reunited, one great nation under God. And Blessed Mary said to Nelson Mandela, "It will be done." And so in sharing this little story with you, it is because I have a new mission. And I, Goddess of Justice, I have met with some of the Ascended Masters. And that includes Martin Luther King and Nelson Mandela. And in meeting with them and beloved Saint Germain, Mother Mary, beloved Jesus, Mary Magdalene, and I have shared my dream with them. And they have all said that they will help me. My mission is to find and raise as many people on earth who will become mighty advocates of and for justice in your world. Will you help me? It's all about the good people now. And I know there are millions who care about justice, whose hearts almost break with grief when they see the racial injustice in the world. I, Goddess of Justice, say to all of you, enough is enough. And with the approval of Martin Luther King, I say to each of you, beloved hearts of love, I have a dream. And with sheer Magdalene will and force, and with your help, I, Justina, Goddess of Justice, will raise 100 million advocates for justice in your world. Call to me. Call to all of us. Goddess of Justice, beloved Saint Germain, Mother Mary, beloved Jesus and Mary Magdalene, beloved Ascended Martin Luther King, and beloved Ascended Nelson Mandela, and your angelic host. I reach up to each of you. I offer my heart's love to you, and I call upon you to make me an advocate for divine justice. Come and light your flame of divine justice in my heart. Fill me with sheer determination to be an advocate for divine justice. Come and blaze your qualities of justice into my life and world that just crowds out all injustice. Come, great masters of justice, and fill the mental and feeling bodies of the people of earth with overwhelming desire for justice for all. Come and charge the lower atmosphere of earth with the qualities of divine justice acting. Goddess of Justice, and the other ascended masters who have joined you, lead your angels of justice into our world and find and raise 100 million people in the world to become advocates for justice for all. Fill all the lands with advocates for justice. I thank you. O precious hearts, I know change will come to the people of earth. Injustice will end. 100 million advocates for justice in your world will lead the people to their freedom from every kind of injustice, beginning with the horrific racial injustice that must now be removed from the world and the consciousness of the people forever. I have a dream to raise 100 million advocates for justice in your world. Let's do this, beloved roses, beloved hearts of love. Meditate on this. Pray for it. Decree to us. For we have the means. If you will hold the door open to us, we have the means to search the hearts and minds of the people of earth and to find those who would be mighty advocates for justice. We will find them and we will overlight them. And we will cause a will and a determination, a desire for justice that just builds and builds and builds in them until their own inner life begs of them, demands of them to become advocates for justice. These advocates for justice will appear in many ways. Some will take to the streets. Some of these advocates for justice will overwhelm the courts of the lands. Many advocates of justice will swell within the halls of Congress. Advocates of justice will lobby all politicians of the world, local, civic, federal, state, provincial. Some advocates for justice will meditate for hours on justice. Some will decree to the ascended host to end all injustice. These 100 million advocates for justice, they will rise everywhere, in every field of life, education, the arts, science, technologies, governments, business, the world of music, and those who love music and life, seeing and experiencing the swelling numbers, millions of advocates for justice. Stories will be written, songs will be created, and people will come together. 100 million advocates of justice. The time is now. Love calls upon each of you, if you will, to be my pillar of justice on the earth. I will overlight you. I will fulfill your desire. I ask you, beloved hearts, to remember something. I ask you to remember that those who experience injustice in their lives in a very personal way, they are in pain. And it's time to end their pain now. I know that beloved Jesus and Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene and Saint Germain and the ascended Nelson Mandela and Martin Luther King, we all have our own legions of angels. We'll do the work from on high. We'll seek the minds and the hearts of peoples. We will find those who, if we can just touch them a little with our flames of freedom, our flame of justice, we know that we can motivate them from the depths of their being to become an advocate for justice. I have a dream, beloved roses, beloved hearts of love, and you have an opportunity to be the open door where I, the goddess of justice, can fulfill my dream. Let's begin this wonderful work now. 100 million advocates of and for justice for all. And with your permission, I will add to your heart flame the wonderful active quality of justice. And may justice radiate out from you and be a presence and an action and an power, and be in each of you a growing intolerance of any and every kind of injustice. I have a dream. Together, we can make it possible. You have wonderful minds and hearts. And discovering my dream, might you talk to each other? Might you be creative? Ask yourselves how you can work with the goddess of justice. Keep it conscious in your awareness. This is the dream. Let's fulfill this dream upon the earth. The time for change is now. And for that change to come, we must find those who are amongst the people of earth, the good people. I can find them. Call upon me and my ascended friends to raise 100 million advocates of and for justice for all. I thank you for taking this time to listen to my message today. Each of you, in your own unique and creative ways that will sometimes make noise, ways that other times your work and advocacy is in the silence between you and your God. So then it will be between you and your people on earth. 100 million advocates of and for justice for all. Namaste, 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 beloved hearts of love.